Everybody wants to be top dog, but few are willing to do what it takes. In today's Get Deep in Dope, we are talking blocks and investigating what it takes to run your turf and thrive. So, if you want to be successful, listen up. New York will be the first home for DopeWarz and will be represented by real-world blocks like Times Square and the Statue of Liberty, which players can control using drug token. Buying a blocks won't be buying the area, but actually paying off the government to exert control over that blocks. Much like real-life drug operation, the cartel pays off the government to look the other way. Each blocks has a certain value, and the market will decide the value of a specific blocks. And each will have certain properties associated with them, which will affect their market appeal. Each blocks will have a certain supply of drugs, which will in turn impact the price of buying raw materials in that particular block. For example, if a block has cocaine lockup, it results in a higher supply of cocaine and a lower price to produce the drug in the area. Supply is also contingent on nearby resources. Accessibility to different resources required to manufacture different types of drugs will impact the production cost of drugs and its value as well. If you own a blocks, you can make repairs and enhancements such as better roads and infrastructure, subways, and so on. Each blocks has different stats that affect your operation. They are rated from 1 to 10 and consist of the following. The economic variables define the living conditions of the blocks. Poor areas might demand math, while rich neighborhoods will want more cocaine. The population variables define the number and type of people on the blocks. More people, more demand. The age of the population will also determine demand for certain drugs. Transport variables define the transport infrastructures of the blocks, which affects the time it takes to deal and transport drugs and goods. Heat defines the danger level of law enforcement and the chance of getting caught while dealing drugs in the blocks. Always be on the lookout as different drugs will have different demands in different blocks. An area full of young people might have higher demand for certain drugs, such as Marley or ecstasy. The district type of the property block will also impact demand. Residential district, commercial district, or manufacturing district. A commercial area where there are casinos and clubs might have a higher demand for certain drugs, such as cocaine and ecstasy, compared to a property block in a residential area, which might prefer, say, weed. Since Officer Triggerfinger are trying to bust you, so there's always a chance that you will bump into him or one of his cronies at random. Different blocks will be at different distances from law enforcement buildings. The presence of law enforcement within the vicinity of a blocks will dictate the risk to run drug operations in the area. Best pay attention to the heat level. Blocks with access to subways and helipads will provide better means to deal drugs than in other areas. Buildings signify the number of drug operations that can be set up in a given blocks. The higher the number of buildings in a blocks, the more you can sell. Each building has a number of drug operation facilities, or DoZ, which you can use to house your dopies and manufacture drugs. A block that has 400 buildings is obviously more valuable than a block with 100. Blocks owners can invest money to develop their blocks to grow operations. Build venues such as casinos and nightclubs to increase the demands of drugs. Improve supply by building weed farms or chemical factories. Improve transport links such as helipad and subways to reduce costs of imports and speed up delivery times. Yes, the learning curve is quite steep, but nobody ever said that governing was easy. You need to be meticulous and super ambitious if you want your blocks to thrive. Check out the complete article on our Medium blog and you'll be on your way to being a top dog. Link in the description below, and stay tuned for more. See ya!